did the South and Bend. Charges on the beat.
Told the spoon to get your information. Told the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon
Welcome to the media. Samuel
Are you concerned
So that's former finance minister Samuel Towe just leaving the criminal proceed where he was given
$8 million
a release.
He arrived in the country this morning via an Air Peace flight at around 1.
So the so he's had now. He has the freedom to leave any court facility as criminal
has been following with eagle eye some grave concern of threatening issues of allegations against some of our government officials. And as a national chairman of the ruling party, it will be a great disservice to all the partisans across the nation to remain silent on issues of this nature. As the press have been flagging the issue of corruption, I want to say here that the allegation against Minister Ami Modai by the METEC sponsor luxurious vehicle he claimed that was purchased by the LRA for the use of the Commerce Ministry is deeply concerning, not only to partisans, but Liberians as a whole who have been hoping that this government will going to lead our country into national transformation. While it is true that as a party we do not question
Liberia is facing a drug crisis that is affecting our youth and jeopardizing the country's future. This epidemic, driven by international criminal enterprises and their networks, poses a severe threat. In response, we have not only declared the drug epidemic a health emergency and a national security threat, but we have also been taking steps to address this issue by establishing a dedicated national body to tackle drug abuse in Liberia. I urge the international community to join Liberia in addressing this escalating drug crisis.
Joseph Sally, I report for Baba TV. My question is also Minister of Public. I want to know, has there been any time during the contracts or contractors that you, within the 100 days, that you insisted those contractors will purchase pickups and vehicles for the ministry?
So I'll address the questions as they came. There was one that asked about the 100 days, about the purchase of vehicles. Yes, during the negotiation, we got no objection from the PPCC. The sole source or single source the project. We had the team negotiate with the contractors. And so yes, companies that won the contracts did that because we inherited a ministry where any vehicle and to be able to supervise such projects. Some of our assistant ministers who were tasked to be in those corridors for supervision had to be mobile. Yes, we did. And those pickers were turned over to the Ministry of Public Works and being used now by assistant ministers and directors, some REs, resident engineers.
The people of Liberia for bringing us back. We have demonstrated leadership, especially the president. We are grateful. But when we came, there are promises, packages that should have been given to us. And we have been here for about 3 months, and we have not received, about 90% of us have not received what was promised. I received a phone, yes, I received 25 kg, yes, I have not received my oil, I have not received slippers and all those things. But what we get on our feet as a startup is the $300 per head for the elderly people and the young $25 as they are spent. So some of
$225?
Yeah, for the case.
$90, right?
That's the equivalent. Yeah. Then $300 for the adults, family heads.
Okay.
So the family heads, no matter the size, you are giving a bag of that 25 kg rice, bag of rice. So now, 3 months, we are not seeing any sign as a startup because people are hosting us, and then we are now also contributing to the upkeep of the home. To things are being prepared, it's building up pressure. So we want to get back on our feet, not to sit down. So that little money that the government will give us is a starting point that we can turn around to get.
So now, about 2 months ago, the Liberian government, sent delegation which was held, led by the air. What's the issue?
We are holding our money.
You don't want to speak louder?
Yeah, I said they want to pay our money. We are sleeping in the pool. We are sleeping in the pool, no mattress, no food for to eat. They came, they took all the mattresses, they took all the rice, the pot, and then left. Since then, we are sleeping in the pool.
You said who? Say that again?
The Elchuba came and took the mattresses, they took the rice, they took all the oil. And we are sleeping in the pool.
Our package.
Air Chaparisi told you that Finance Ministry
on to our package.
Okay.
That's why we are not being paid. So we listen to other media, other sources.
Okay.
When you go there, when you see people lie in the courts, you feel pity for them. They don't care. The only thing they can do, sometimes when they come just abruptly, they will start issuing threatening remarks.
So
The new government that will show visible signs of progress in the country will be known after 6 months. And because Georgia was known after 6 months, roads were being constructed. People will reduce salaries. What has been the tangible, visible sign of productivity of the government in 9 months? MOUs, 3 billion from China. I signed a 2.5 billion swap deal from China. So you walk in my playbook. We are signed. 2.5 billion China. That doesn't mean that the money came. Let's stop deceiving the Liberian people. Let's stop using misinformation and propaganda and optical shenanigans to impress the Liberian people. And I will speak directly to the Liberian people tomorrow. The new government that will show visible signs of progress in the country will be known after 6 months. And because Georgia was known after 6 months, roads were being constructed. People will reduce salaries. What has been the tangible, visible sign of productivity of the government in 9 months? MOUs, 3 billion from China. I signed a 2.5 billion swap deal from China. So you walk in my playbook. We are signed. That doesn't mean that the money came. Let's stop deceiving the Liberian people.
Let's stop using misinformation and propaganda and optical shenanigans to impress the Liberian people. And I will speak directly to the Liberian people tomorrow.
Liberia is facing a drug crisis that is affecting our youth and jeopardizing the country's future. This epidemic, driven by international criminal enterprises and their networks, poses a severe threat. In response, we have not only declared the drug epidemic a health emergency and a national security threat, but we have also been taking steps to address this issue by establishing a dedicated national body to tackle drug abuse in Liberia. I urge international community to join Liberia in addressing this escalating drug crisis.
Has been following with eagle eye some grave concern of threatening issues of allegations against some of our government officials. And as a national chairman of the ruling party, it will be a great disservice to all the partisans across the nation to remain silent on issues of this nature. As the press have been flagging the issue of corruption, I want to say here that the allegation against Minister Ami Modai by the METEC sponsor luxurious vehicle he claimed that was purchased by the LRA for the use of the Commerce Ministry is deeply concerning, not only to partisans, but Liberians as a whole who have been hoping that this government will going to lead our country into national transformation. While it is true that as a party we do not question
you got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tuto Spoon. Yeah.
Oh yes, if you're in Grand Gila, you're in Cape Mount, you're in Sino, you're in Maryland County, you're in Riverses, you're in Wapolo, maybe you're in Bombing County, you're in Grand Cape Mount County, across the 15 counties of Liberia, or maybe you're in Asia, you're in Europe, you're in the US, just wherever you are tonight. I'd like to say welcome. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. I want to welcome everyone tonight to this space where we get to talk about Liberia. We discuss the issues. We bring you all of the updates, the major happenings across the country every single day, and we provide you the time to have your say, to weigh in your thoughts on those different issues of concerns. And so I'd like to say welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. My name is Nelson Colette, and we are going to, we are all set to bring you a great show tonight. I'm going to move to the comment section and recognize just a few of you who have joined us here tonight early. Thereafter, I'll be bringing you the updates, the major headlines across the country. And then we get the panelists to come on to weigh in their thoughts on the different happenings across the country. We'll bring you some critical analysis on those different issues here tonight as well. So welcome to the show. Our request to you, our plea to you is that please share the program as you come on. You can share the program in your different group chats on Facebook and in your WhatsApp groups, and let's have a great conversation tonight. Again, I want to welcome everyone. Let me quickly move to the comment section. Thanks to our partner radio stations across the country that are relaying this program. Many thanks to Trust FM, Premier FM, GB FM, and a host of other radio stations across the country. As you know, we are live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric Radio 101.1, and our partner radio stations. We're also streaming live across the internet. We are live on Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. We are also live on YouTube, and our YouTube handle is Spoon Talk Live. So thanks for joining us tonight. Let me welcome a few of you. I see Medela Jebo is here tonight. Thanks for joining us, Jebo. Adam Kamara has joined us from the UK. We appreciate you. James Kwade is joining us from Abidjan. That's Ivory Coast, our next door neighbor. Thanks for joining us. Henry Salomon Soba is here tonight. Our dear sister Lavette Bondo has joined us. Thanks for joining in. And let me go here. I see Alfred Flomo is here. Nye Miepe is here tonight. Miepe, thanks for joining us, sir. I see Diamond is here. Lloyd Powers has joined us. Doris Tolbert, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Ma Teresa's son has joined us from Harrisburg thanks for joining us. Pitman is here tonight. Amara Sese has joined us. Tatos Bumi is here. Kaifa Yama has joined us tonight. Thanks for coming on. Noah Elliott is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Madam Mariah Sando Yinantu has joined us. Thanks for joining the late night show. Kindly share the program. Please share the show as you come on tonight. Let's have a great conversation. Doris Tolbert. I see Alice Ban. Our dear sister Freeman is here. I see Julius Musa Dablo. Thanks for joining us. Moses Colley, Hipko Kazi. Hipko Kazi is here. Eric McGill. My own mom, Madam Joyce Clinton Hammer. Thanks for joining us tonight, ma'am. I appreciate you. Hashim Family has joined us. Victoria Lamine is here tonight as well. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Pekele Bwap, that's Pekele Bwapi, yes. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. I appreciate you, Pekele. Vian Carlton, yes. Baker, Vivian Doe, Tape Toby, O.P. O'Neill Johnson. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. A lot to talk about. We are here as always to make sure so we're here tonight to make sure we give you the best, a great edition of the program. Again, we appreciate everyone for joining us tonight. Sorry, folks. I will have to make a very brief adjustment here. Let's hope we can have this coming in. Yeah, so again, we're here tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Please share the program as you come on. The late night show, the late night politics on Spoon tonight. So let's go through some of the updates. There are lots of things happening across the country right now. Just a few we would like to update you with tonight. First one is that the judge of Criminal Code C. Now, most of you, we played a video earlier on where you saw the former finance minister, Samuel Twe, upon his arrival in the country following the 500 million indictment that was brought upon him and 4 other officials of the previous administration. That's former President George Weah or the CDC administration. Following the indictment, he wasn't available at some point. There was a time when the government pulled up a writ of arrest for him. He was being declared wanted, a fugitive. That following the indictment, he didn't make himself available. He didn't avail himself to the justice system like others did. And so it was a long haul. He was on one of the international media where he raised some concerns and that he wanted to ensure that everything is in place before coming back to the country. Well, he did come back. He came back to the country and he moved to Criminal Code C. And of course, there was a bond, 8 million, of course, that he provided, and it was being accepted. So following the acceptance of the bond and all of that, Criminal Code C Josh Blamo Dixon has come up with has issued a writ of nil esse republica. Nil esse republica, which means that former Minister Samuel Twe and 3 others are not allowed to leave the country. So those 4 officials of government, according to the judge and the writ that was issued, if they ever tried leaving the country, okay, so let's assume former Minister Twe decides today and says, okay, I want to go to Ivory Coast while this process is on. Though there's a bond already, yes, the court accepted the bond, but if any of those officials ever make any attempt to leave the country, the court has issued this, according to the nil esse republica issued by the court, those officials of government should be or will be arrested if they ever attempted leaving the country. So those in question are the former finance minister Samuel Twe, the former acting solicitor general of the Republic of Liberia, Nyanti Twan, a former director general of the Financial Intelligence Unit, Stanley Fall, a former FIU controller, Moses Cooper, as well as former National Security Advisor, Jefferson Camus. Those individuals, if they ever try leaving the country, they will be arrested according to the nil esse republica that has been issued. So they will be rearrested. So they've been ordered now by the court to remain in country, live in Liberia until the whole case over. If you're guilty, you serve your sentence. If you are freed, if you prove beyond all reasonable doubt in the court of competent jurisdiction that you didn't commit the crime, you had absolutely no hand in the 500 million that is being alleged that you tampered with, then of course you can walk out a free man. So this is where we are with that. And also today, the former finance minister was being invited as well. A lot of you followed the case with the former Internal Audit Agency's boss, the late Bati Yenswat. Mr. Yenswat was found dead in his home under mysterious circumstances, and of course, since then there has been some concerns. There has been lots of questions with respect to how did he really die, and there are names that have been linked to this particular issue as well. And so the former finance minister, again, is one of those persons whose name has been linked to this. The police, like the IG said when he took over, they're going to reopen some of those cases. They're going to go back and reassess the pieces of evidence provided back then and make sure that justice is served. The law is enforced to the letter regardless of who's involved. And so based on that, the former finance minister was invited today for questioning relative to the Bati Yenswat death and stuff like that, the circumstances surrounding that. Information is that the police is reassessing the entire case, looking at all of the different pieces of evidence, and making sure that the police can get at the bottom of this case. So this is where we are with that. Today, the former finance minister was invited for questioning, and it was a great one. And so this is where we are now. On the flip side, now the Civil Service Agency is warning citizens, warning individuals purporting to be government employees to desist with immediate effect. People, it is alleged that there are some people who take this as a kind of hustle in the country now. If they have a photo, maybe they took with former with President Barker now, when he was in the campaign process, or former vice president and stuff like that, or some photo with influential members of officials of this government. Some of those guys are purporting now to be employees of government, like you saw with the former religious advisor, the former President George Weah. Some of those people are going as far as extorting money from other people in the name of wanting to give them jobs. In fact, what is happening is that some of those people involved with this have gone to the extent of opening WhatsApp, how do you call it? WhatsApp accounts and all of that, bearing the photos of those of some officials of government that some of the people that are even serving in government personally. They open WhatsApp accounts with those individuals' photos and all of that as the profile, the cover photo, and they are purporting to be employees of this government. A lot of people have fallen prey to this. They've succeeded in scamming so many people. And so the ministry, that's the Civil Service Agency, is warning against this, warning against those individuals purporting to be employees of government. If you know you aren't employed by the government of Liberia, you have to avoid carrying yourself or presenting yourself to be one, or purporting to be an official of the government. And the CSA is saying that actions will be taken, and in the case where those individuals are caught, some serious actions will be taken. Now, there was a young man, a 23-year-old man by the name of Poli Sade. That's Kanye. That's his name. The 23-year-old man, his name is Kanye. This guy allegedly murdered his fiancée, and also this fiancée was 7 months pregnant, and their 6-year-old kid was murdered as well. And this happened on the 17th of September. Since then, the guy escaped. He has been on the run. So the police finally caught him. And investigation has been going on with respect to this. Why did he carry on the act? But some of the information coming in so far is that this thing, according to what some of what we're getting as per the information he's providing, he did it because he suspected that his spouse or his fiancée was cheating, and so he stabbed her. 7 months pregnant, and the 6-year-old kid as well. And so the question that so many people are asking is, if it was due to maybe insecurity, or he felt that his spouse was cheating, what did the 6-year-old kid do? What part did the 6-year-old kid play in the the unfaithful or act carried on by, allegedly carried on by the mother. So he committed the act and he escaped. He has been on the run, but he was finally caught. And there's there's investigation going on with respect to that, so that the law can take its course. So these are just a few of the many happenings across the country. And so this is where we are. And we're going to move into the conversation tonight. I want to welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for joining us on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. The late night politics on Spoon tonight. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to have as our guest on the show tonight the folks from the concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party and its alliance. They pull up a statement. They've been making some strong points. We are going to speak briefly with those young men tonight. And then following that, we're going to move into other happenings and bring you some analysis around the happenings in the country today, in line with some of the updates we've provided for you. So again, I want to welcome you. Thanks for joining us tonight on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Let me see if I can bring the team on now. I see one of our guests is in the background already. Bila Soiree is here tonight as well. And let me make the adjustment. Okay, so Bila, thanks for joining us, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having Oya. Always, and it's a good thing to be back. Good evening to folks out there, and I hope that we can have a great conversation tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely a great conversation tonight, and a lot to talk about. So much happening across the country. It's just very important that we make the max of the time we have to be on here tonight. And so I want to say thanks for coming on. Peter, just do your opening because as I stated earlier, we want to start the show by bringing on our guests. Once we can have a conversation with the folks, the young men from the concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party and the Rescue Alliance. Once we can have them on, then we will move on to other conversations we need to have tonight. So you're opening, Peter.
Thank you so much. Once more, I'd like to begin by saying good evening to you. Good evening to all those who following up, whether by radio, by whatsoever means you're trying to follow the conversation tonight. It's always a unique thing to be back to discuss Mama Liberia. And I've always been thinking about the issue and basically to have done my opening with that has to do with governance.
Okay.
If you can remember, in the past 3 to 4 months, if I stands to be correct, we have always had disagreement among people who we thought in our mind that should know better, and that is very appalling. We have serious issue at hand when it comes to bread and butter issue that our people should actually be benefiting from. Not a minister or a director, an assistant director should be, the president should always be calling you guys for some level of conversation to know what is your role as a deputy, to know what is your role as a minister proper. So I've been hearing the issue about the deputy minister at the level of the Ministry of Public Works and the minister proper on the issue of disagreement. Come on. If the president trusts you with a certain level of leadership, that comes to a lot of responsibility. If you are in her, there are a lot of things you need to bury down. And the issue about people wanting to always disrespect and not look at the presidency at the overall boss, it is appalling. And the president needs to take seize of some of these matters, because you cannot have the president giving a mandate or giving an authority to assistant minister. Then you want to get that show powers. Like, yeah, I need to be informed. You will not go, or this will happen. I am the boss here. You have to know that you have another boss as well. So, and I'm not saying this nothing in any way to make deputy minister, assistant minister, or assistant director that being disrespectful to your boss. Your boss is your boss, but the bosses too have to understand that it has limitation as boss. So I mean, we got serious issue at hand. We got serious economic issue at hand. We got our people are suffering on the business role that the public work minister carries some great job that we talk about. I think the focus should be how our people should have remedy to how they can, have a smooth, have a role that they will be traveling on that their market or their businesses that they always taking from other rural sectors of our country will be something that they will not be, facing so lot of difficulty way. I think the ministry need to focus on more progressive issue than personal
Thank you.
issues. Yeah, it's
You know,
important.
and this is very important, and that's why, in fact, we're gonna start the conversation with the gentleman here tonight,
Yeah.
from the concerned um concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party and
Okay.
its alliance, and they released a statement some time ago, couple of days ago, and it was a very strong one. They've been calling for the suspension, the immediate suspension of the commerce minister and all public officials that have refused to declare the asset. They've been calling on the chairman, Chairman Luther Tappe, the chairman of the Unity Party, and the NPA managing director, Mr. Samuel Twe. That's Amos Twe. Sorry, Amos Twe. But I see Twe, right?
I think twice. So sometimes it's confusing.
Yeah, they've been calling on them to resign their post
Yeah.
in compliance with the code of conduct.
Okay.
And so we want to talk to them briefly, and then after that, we're going to move on with the conversation tonight. Right. A lot to talk about. A travel ban has been placed on former Minister Twe and others. And why this travel ban is coming from the court, and there is a whole case there with the 500 million indictment upon the former Minister of Finance and others. And there is another, investigation going on at the level of the Liberia National Police relative to the Bati Yensua case. The police trying to establish the facts, the circumstances under which Bati lost his life because he was a public servant.
Sure.
He was one of the best brains we had in this country. He was one of those individuals who was well educated and could represent Liberia very well on so many fronts.
Right.
He died mysteriously. He left back his loved ones, his family members, people who looked up to him. So, and like we always say, Bila, as we always say, every single citizen of the country is a property of the state.
Sure.
First, listen, that's why even the parents who have kids cannot just do anything to your kids. You just can, knock on wood. We say God forbid. Take knife and stab your child.
Yeah.
And then maybe the community people come around. Oh, why you doing this? But then I'm a child.
No. Right.
Every citizen is a property of the state.
Yeah.
The state owns that child first before you. So if you did something wrong to that child, the child can call police. Even without the child calling police, the law can move in immediately once it has to do with saving the life of that person.
Right.
And so this is where we are.
Yeah.
And so whether the family want this investigation or not, it is in the purview of the state to make sure that one of her citizens who deserve protection under the laws of the country, especially so a public servant, that all of the pieces of evidence can be brought to the table, the facts and circumstances surrounding his mysterious death can be established. We're going to talk more on this.
Okay.
We're going to make some analysis around this. But let's bring the guys on. We're gonna have David Kwe Nangbe on tonight.
Okay.
And then we're gonna bring I think the gentleman there need to put his real name in there, so we know exactly. Yeah, he needs to edit the name. The next guest needs to edit his name. But let me bring David on. David, welcome to the late night show. It's good to have you on tonight. How are you?
I'm doing good, and it's a pleasing honor once again to have the opportunity to speak with you and listener following the broadcast across the world. I want to say good morning from my end, and I don't know what the time there is, but to my distinguished brother in studio also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Comrade, what's up?
Yeah.
doing good.
It's a great thing to have you on tonight, David. And we're gonna have the rest of the team coming on, so we'll have this conversation. But basically, we want to establish some things here. Recently, you came up with a statement from your group. First of all, give us an idea about this group. I see the concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party and its alliance. Is this an auxiliary of the Unity Party? Are you recognized as an auxiliary of the Unity Party? Are you just a few people who just put themselves together to cause problem for the party? Are you recognized by the Unity Party as an auxiliary? What's your strength? What's your capacity? What's your level of influence as a group? What level of shaking are you capacitated enough to bring about? I mean, give us an idea of this concerned rescued supporters and the members of the Unity Party.
So first and foremost, I want to thank you once again for providing us the opportunity to provide highlights and details regarding Sunday's press conference. By the way, we are members of the Unity Party. The group comprises of individuals who are members of the Unity Party, like me, the chairman, Comrade Weber, and other members of the UP and other individuals from different parties within the alliance that supported the Unity Party in the just ended election. By the way, this group is not recognized as auxiliary, but we are a group of recognized individuals within our respective parties who think at this crucial point in time it's important to help safeguard the party and also advocate for transparency and good governance. These were fundamental.
I want to understand something. David, just before you go in, just before going any further, you said the group is not recognized as an auxiliary.
Yeah, because you asked as well, the group is a recognized auxiliary.
Okay.
And yes, and to be recognized in the context of which you spoke, you are talking about being registered.
Yeah.
So we are not registered, but from the broad perspective, we are recognized the fact that we are members of the UP.
Okay. So I get that part, David, and it's very important because we're about to go into the actual reason why we invited you guys to speak for you. But if you are not an auxiliary, if you're not recognized an auxiliary as an auxiliary of the Unity Party or the alliance, what is the legal backing? What is that thing that that supports you, especially the advocacy now you're coming in with? And now you're coming in with some very strong points. I understand you are members of the Unity Party. So why didn't you just make this point, put this point across as members or influential members of the Unity Party, but you're coming in as concerned rescuers and members of the Unity Party? Don't you think you could have put all of those points through just as influential members of the Unity Party?
So regarding your first question as to whether we have standing, absolutely we have standing, considering the fact that we are card-bearing members of the Unity Party. The fact that we are
You all have
bearing
ID card.
members of the party, we have every legal right to call on the party or to act in ways that we think that are appropriate for the promotion and the interest of the party. So
Okay,
it's
what are your respective ranks at the party level? What are your respective ranks? Are you just members of the party? Are you part of the youth league of the party? Are you?
so
I mean, what are your respective? I want to bring Wilbert on. Wilbert, if you could just sit up, that would be right. Okay, Wilbert, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on the show. Your background is kind of dark. If you could put some light in it, that would be okay, and stuff like that. But it's good to have you on the show tonight. Welcome. So David, you can go ahead.
yeah, so the fact that we are card-bearing member, we have every legal standing to raise issues that are imperative to the promotion of the party and to project a good image of the party. So it is indicated upon the facts that we chose to flex some of the issues that the party is faced with and vis-a-vis the government of Liberia.
Okay. Wilbert, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Thank you, Nelson.
Okay. You are you okay? So I see you have on a jacket and all of that. Is it because of the code? Would you mind removing the Marvin Gaye if that's something that's okay for you? Since we're on TV, just so the folks know and see who's exactly talking or interacting with them.
Well, I think my knee depicts. I'm not too well. I'm having some cold, but
okay.
I hope it won't be an issue. Please.
Okay. So great. We can go on. Now, I was just speaking with David just before you came on, and you care to take off from where he stopped, in case you were following.
So the first play I want to start with is I fall under the category of the allowance because I emanate from the ALP as the National Youth Secretary General Emeritus. So fortunately for us, we are part of the group that joined the Unity Party, not the group that went to the CDC. So we started the CPP as far back 2020 when I served as the head of secretariat. Remember the 4 different parties arrangement of the CPP. So we have got every reason to critique this government. I think that is the better aspect of us who have supported this process from the very beginning, because we turned to erect the necessary checkpoints from the very beginning. Now, people saying under 9 months is too early, give the government some time. No, this country don't need no 1 year, 2 year. No, we got to start now. And some of those things we stand by. We want to help the government succeed. We love this president now with the love that other people have, but we want this process to succeed. That is why we are coming forth and making all of these demands. And we are not expecting the president to take it like this. As soon as he hit the ground, he should hit the ground running.
Okay, so now I want us to go into some of the demands that you guys are laying out here. The first thing is one of the things that caught my attention in your release was calling on the current chairman of the party, Chairman Wilson Tappet, to resign his position as chairman of the party, and you're also calling on the managing director of the LPRC to either resign his position and focus on the party's job, or remain with the party and just let go his position. But I mean, what informs those different points you're making? Why are you even raising those concerns at this point? And what do you foresee, especially in terms of getting the kind of results you intend to get. Let's start the conversation with respect to what triggered this particular decision. Those.
Yeah. So as you may be aware,
let's start with David, and then we're gonna come to you, Weber.
Yeah. So as you may be aware, this entire issue of the code of conduct started as far back when the Unity Party was in power. So the code of conduct originated under the Unity Party when it was in power some 8 years ago. So it got passed by the Unity Party, and there were certain issues indicated in the code of conduct. Fast forward, the Unity Party, as part of its commitment to the Liberian people during the chess and the elections, committed to the full implementation of the code of conduct. So the government got elected. The government chose to set up the office of the ombudsman. The government thought to appoint, the president thought to appoint individuals to steer the office of the ombudsman. So what it says is the government had demonstrated certain commitment in the implementation of the code of conduct. So fast forward, considering that this government had demonstrated willingness for the full implementation of the code of conduct, it is only important that our party, that is the ruling party, demonstrate true commitment to that implementation. It is from this background that we are calling on the party chairman, the Mr. Chairman, Mr. Secretary General, and other officials appointed in the government, and at the same time holding positions in the party, to choose. You know, they have a choice to either stay with the party or to take on the government job. Because to be in their various capacities in government and at the same time occupying position in the party violates the code of conduct. And like you are aware, as a party and as a government that are committed to the Liberian people that they will implement the code of conduct, we cannot be the one violating the code of conduct. So it's from this background that we are saying, Mr. Chairman, we recognize the fact that you have been speaking of lately, which is good, but we need to take a step forward if we are sincere to ensuring that our laws are respected. So we have called on the chairman to choose between being the board chair of the LPRS, of the National Port Authority, and that of his party's position. Similarly to the managing director of the LPRC, who is the Secretary General, to choose. Also to Madam Deputy Minister Colina Kra and all members of the National Executive Committee who are equally occupying party's positions at the same time holding senior position in government. So it's from that background that we thought to call our party officials to vote.
Just lay your thought. Let's get Weber to come in. But Raymond, I want to welcome you to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so if our party, because if we are sincere in showing good governance must first start from within. So if we can get our party official to live up to the full implementation of the code of conduct, it becomes very easy to ensure that other members of different parties are made to obey the law. But if our party, which is a ruling party,
so David, you are saying as it stands, the party that you support, the party that you are a part of, the party that you campaign to bring to power, is blatantly disrespecting or violating the code of conduct.
Absolutely, yes. There can be no but this fact that the fact that there are people holding political positions and at the same time occupying government position violates the code of conduct, and there can be no we're not shy away from the reality that our officials are holding different party positions and the same time occupying different positions in government. We violate the code of conduct. So to be seen right and to have the moral voice to critique other parties or other individuals to do what is right, we must further start with him. It is from that background that we're calling on
I want to come to Weber. I want to come to Weber. You know, this whole code of conduct and officials of the current administration who have positions in the party and making a decision between the two is something that has been going on for a very long time. This government is 8 months, going to 9 months in power. Weber, someone listening to us or watching the show now may just be asking as to why now? Why are you guys speaking out now? Why is this becoming concerning just now?
So Nelson, we will all agree that the president we have is an integrity icon. And what we campaign on, there is no way we can go back on those things we campaign on. All right? We criticized for 6 years. In fact, we start our criticism from the let-go stage of the George Weah regime. So we can't come back to do exactly the same thing we criticized before and justify because it had been happening in the past. Then we should continue. No, this is not what we voted for. And most time we brag and someone will say we are filibustering, that we are better than many of those in the past because we're starting in now 8 months. 8 months is more than enough for these changes to take place. Now, if you listen to the chairman press statement against the Minister of Commerce, that was unique, except that the message was right, but the messenger was not right. And we are mustering the court just from within the very statement he made to call him to attention. Yes, you said this, but hey, yeah, you are in violation of the code of conduct. So they can retreat, or you can make a decision if you think your job is so fantastic that you don't want to let go of the job. Then you give way, resign from the party, go and serve your job while other people run the day-to-day activities of the party. So that is all we are asking for. We are not being disrespectful in any way.
Someone listening to these calls who is very concerned about the real issues that the average Liberian is faced with may just be saying that these issues you're raising are not the bread and butter issue. How does respecting the code of conduct? Someone may be asking, how does it benefit the men way in Bokonjile down there? The men all the way in the rural parts of the country who have absolutely no access to good road connectivity. How does that benefit the average Liberian?
So,
yeah, go ahead.
Even if we are not school, we do have common senses, right? Now, part of those things we think about, if someone will say respecting the rule of law has got nothing to do with your survival, then we question who we are as Liberian. So the rule of law is very cardinal as we proceed. Now, we are only being restricted as per your question to answer the question. But if you go forward, we raise a lot of issues in our press statement that address the everyday reality of the Liberian people. So, yes, we want the right thing, like we call the president to take action, do something about the survival, the everyday Liberian thing, our foods and other things, and people who are caught in the web as per corruption, take the action, because the $5, the $10 that someone will take the benefit himself, that could impact the life of someone as far back as those very areas going in the leeward counties. So we are calling on the president to live up to everything we promise the Liberian people. If not 100%, which of course you can't get from any government, but at least we should leave the mark that the Liberian people will know that the changes we made, we were serious, it was genuine, and we are moving to a higher height. That's our core. That's all we want.
So
David, you can come in there. I'm going to give it over to Bida and Raymond to go ahead with the questions in case they have questions.
So more besides, you read the arrest agenda. One of the cardinal pillars of the arrest agenda is the rule of law, respect for the rule of law. So we cannot be as a party that have said over the period of time that we would demonstrate integrity and respect for the rule of law, seeing in the very act of blatantly violating laws that are intended to be respected as a party. We cannot be seen as a party violating those very laws that we campaign on. So it is from that
Thank you.
yes,
David,
yes.
I want to hold you there and bring the team on because I see the rest of the guys are trying to join the show. Peter, you can go ahead with your questions. Raymond will be next with the line of questioning, and I see Rudolph is trying to join in. Let me bring Rudolph on as well.
Thank you so much, and let me appreciate the young guys for mustering the courage. David Queen Nangbe is a brother and comrade that has always been in the struggle, trending from the COP, coming to the CPP. We've been there, and I know what the brother stands for. And let me appreciate you guys for the struggle. But my question has to do with it. Normally in the Liberian setting, we always engage ourselves with issue based on different intent and motive. And not saying basically that is the reason or you guys had a motive in terms of what you want to achieve, right? Outside the box. Because normally we see Liberian struggle or engagement being like, yes, let's speak on this issue. And moving forward, we're not saying follow or may. So you have some demand. You want the president to take some decision, or you want for certain level of people in government to resign their post, which at certain level conflict them. Because you cannot be in the party and serve in government as well. It's a violation. And I think we have the argument. So if the necessary action you want, those that are involved in the violation, if they are not listening to you, what will become your next action?
Okay, so are you getting me? Okay, so the question would be, what would be our next course of action? Now, we are respecter of law. That is why we continue to use the rule of law to address the issues. We are engaging our leaders constructively, and all of those engagements that we are going to use, we are not going to disclose them. But I'm of the conviction that this ruling party, Unity Party, is a party of law, and those that lead the struggle are responsible group of people. I don't think they would be too adamant not to listen to the quest of the Liberian people. We want to give them the benefit of the doubt. We don't want to preempt that they will be so disrespectful because power has been given them. So as a result of that, they will not listen. We are hopeful that they will listen. If they don't listen, it is up to the president to take the appropriate action. Remember, all those appointed are only there to help the president achieve his agenda. All right? So all weight will fall on the president. It is the president. If those people cannot willfully resign their post, it will be up to the president to take the appropriate action. And we know that Joseph Boakai.
I hope we're getting certain things straight here. We know the president is the commander in chief. Yes, we know the president is the face of the government, the head of the government. We have three separate but equal branches of government. But if you're talking about if you go into the party, looking at the structure of the party, looking at the powers within the party, the chairman is more powerful than the president. So are you going to be looking at the president telling the chairman, who is like in terms of the structure, the hierarchy in the party, who is the boss of the president at the level of the party, then the president going to his boss and telling him, step down, resign? Are you taking that into consideration as well?
Nelson,
yeah,
the highest office in this country that have the appointment power is the president. We understand the party structure. All right, we are talking about those appointed that work at the will and pleasure of the president. So there is no way the party chairman would be powerful than the president of this republic. That is the perspective from where we speak. All right. Okay. So it is up to if he cannot resign, he put a position as chairman of the board, the president will take the action. We expect Luther Tabet not only as party chairman, also a preacher of the gospel, which we believe speak to people about doing the right thing in accordance to what the Bible says. When I want to violate or disrespect what the Liberian people say, remember, voix populi, the voice of the people is the voice of God. So we don't expect Luther Tabet to go back to say he would disrespect us. Now, in the unlikely event that he doesn't listen, it will be up to the men that will voted. There was no Luther Tabet on the ballot box. So you can't tell me because you party chairman will ask the president to take the appropriate action, and you say, oh, the man will now go back to say, even at the structure of the party, even election year, the chairman and other people, the Senate Barrett also seen as one of the higher decision-making person within the structure of the party. But we're not going back there. We are speaking to Joseph Nyima Boakai. We saw him on the ballot. The Constitution has given him power.
Thank you.
So we are not, in fact, let me say this categorically. We are not begging the chairman. We're trying to be constructive, civilized, and respect him as the head of the party. But we are not yet begging. We are not on bended knees. This is a straightforward mandate. We are giving the chairman, all those in similar position, to resign. That's all we're asking. What is so? We pay these people. These people are running our tax to survive. So we are asking them. Leave that position, serve the party. But if you think the position is good, then go ahead and do other things and resign the chairmanship and go and serve the people. If say enjoying being the board chairman, that's all.
Thank you. Thank you. My second question.
Vida, you can come in with a second question. So
thank you. My second question. I want to look at the time frame of your communication or your press conference. Now, one will want to presume in their mind that this is about defending the Amin Moda side of the struggle. And basically, what is your reaction to those who perceiving that you are defending Amin Moda? Because I'm still to be corrected when I look at your release and I listen to your press conference, right? From start to end, all of the basic questions you answer. But I didn't see you reflecting the issue about Amin Moda because that has to do with the issue about strangling governance too, right? So basically, what is your reaction to those who are saying that this is about protecting the side of Amin Moda, and we're not hearing that because you're going for party hierarchy, especially the chairman who spoke about Amin Moda issue, that Amin Moda should make some basic clarity. So what is your reaction, and what is some of the clarification further you can give her in relation to
let me answer the two questions, then you come to. Let me answer the two questions, then you come to, please. David.
Yeah.
So this only suggests that you did not see the press statement because Amin Moda was the first person on the list that we spoke about. And usually when you're addressing the issue, you try to start with the most recent. Look, brother, perhaps we have not had some personal encounters, but we don't sugarcoat things. We sometimes, most time, we tend to be recklessly bold when we're speaking on issues. To say a trending issue that affects the day-to-day life of the Liberian people will be left for quote unquote someone who sits. In fact, the entire issue about Amin Moda being commerce minister is a contradiction. How many stores Amin Moda can walk to per day to inspect? How did the president even reach that decision? All right. We don't want to go personal to sound disrespectful, but how you will look at Amin Moda and say he will be commerce minister? That man cannot even walk from City Hall to area to inspect any store. Least to talk about issue where
the ministry got inspector.
No, my man, even at that, the minister comes down to cross-check. And don't limit it to because the inspector, I mean the minister can come down. All right. The last time we saw a video of him where the car went in from one store and just enter and come by and enter a car. So it means that he going against the inspector work. No, you can conduct church. Yep. All right. We ask the president. Those are things we waiting for. And it sounds so naive. All right. That people in the dispensation, the modern dispensation will say that they're waiting for the president to come and take action. The president should be taking action on some of these things that are happening already. All right? And the president should also understand that this is not the issue of him naming a running mate. wherein he will be given the time, the luxury of time. This is the Republic of Liberia. We are in an urgent stage. Every second that passes counts. All right? So the president needs to take some action. Army mother, all those that is in violation of the declaration of the assets that did not do it in time, they should be gone by now. Those are all things we stated clearly in our press statement. It's not about being selective. Who is Amin Mola to me personally? Even if he was someone that is relative to me as per blood, I think we should lead by example. These are people who should refer at. So we never went on cherry picking in terms of our advocacies. We were holistic. We selected issues, things that affect the Liberian people every day, and it is up to the president. Let the president come. Let give him the benefit of the doubt. Let someone say the president got so many engagements. When he finished up his age, he got to go rest and think he will not be going back on issues that are on the ground. So let the president come. We'll give him some time. If the president doesn't take the action, trust me, our advocacy and our approach might be different. We hate to say, but those are all that pass through the student community. There are sometimes we use the compare compliant method, but we think with the Joseph Boakai we have, we will not reach that level. Thank you.
Yeah, so to just add up on what Weber said, the first issue press conference was the issue that we spoke to was the issue of Amin Modad. We have called on the president to suspend Mr. Amin Modad and have him turned over to the LACC for an impartial investigation. We think that having Mr. Amin Modad sit as Minister of Commerce and facing an investigation, it could undermine the impartial nature of the investigation. As such, we have called on the president to have Mr. Modad suspended so as to give a leeway for an investigation that is impartial. So anybody making such claims that we are cherry picking is unfortunate, and that person didn't follow the press conference in detail.
Raymond.
So thank you, gentlemen, for being here today and speaking to the issues that pertain to all of us, affect our country. In one mindset, I want to think it's a good thing that there are young people in Liberia who are championing the cause for an improved governance and even to champion the development and the improvement of the livelihood of the ordinary people. But again, on the other hand, I'm curious because it's been a long practice in our environment, in our body politics, where young people are used by politicians as pawn, as foot soldiers, to pour for propaganda and other arguments. And all of your arguments sounds like the argument being poured for by the critics of this government, people who sit on the other side of the aisle. Yet you claim to be members of the rescue mission and members of the Unity Party. My first concern, if these things that you are talking about are all true concern that you want to have a change as to how the party proceed, what measure, other than coming to the media, have you instituted to effect this change? If there's any, can you share with us? Did you engage your party leaders? Was there any background work that you did other than coming to the public and saying it, that one would term it as a publicity stunt or want to bomb off the government that you claim to be a supporter of?
Yeah. So first and foremost, let me disabuse such wrong insinuation of us, and to have such an insinuation say something other than the facts that are on ground. The first issue here is that we are known supporters of the Unity Party. Some of us here have been on the ground, speaking to issues in this country, and like one of your colleagues, even on the platform there, testify that we have been consistently on the ground advocating for good governance and transparency in the country. Even besides the Unity Party during the campaign, let all of us argue that we are doing things not as usual. Like the common saying within the UP, no business as usual, as eloquently said by Ambassador Joseph Nyema Boyka. So advocating for change, advocating for good governance, and some of the issues we have flagged should not be a surprise to you. This to say, these are opinions shared by critics. To the point as to relating to if we contacted issues in the party, what were the mechanisms used and what have you, I can say to you that we absorb all of the mechanisms. We have conversation in the back. And some of these issues are pressing national issues. Take, for example, the issue of Mr. Ahmed Moda. Have it been an issue of secret? Don't you think, even with that question, that there is an action that needs to be taken? Don't you think the fact that there are accusation of corruption, don't you think an investigation should be launched so as to present and protect the image of the government? The government have argued that it's a transparent government. The government have argued, we have argued that we are an open government. So doing what is right for me, I don't think it's any problem. So the opinion expressed by us here are not opinion of critics of the government. Besides, we even love the government. These are very issues that if not handled with care, can see a government not being re-elected. And as people who really love the party, we want for these issues to be looked at from the very initial stage of the government so as to avoid any future problem. We contacted the chairman, we have conversation with the chairman, we have conversation with party officials. If we were cherry picking or if we were sponsored by people, some of what we even flag, we have been flagged. Take, for example, issue of we hardly honor their accusation that we support Luther Tabe, for which we are attacking Ahmed Moda. Didn't we equally call for the full implementation of the code of conduct? Then we say that Mr. Ahmed Moda should lead by example. So we have flagged all of these issues. Besides, the party by itself even had a press conference. The party had a press conference. I showed you a party's press conference of recent, where it spoke to several issues and declared that, and even asked the president for an investigation, asking the LAC to launch an investigation. So we are not individuals that support the opposition, or we are process of the opposition. We love our party, and we believe that if these common missteps are looked into, these issues are properly handled, it says a whole lot about the government. It projects a positive image of the government. It says good of the government. It even projects the government as a serious institution in the face of the international community. So these are issues that we think is important.
Thank you, David. Well articulated. Wilbert, will you attempt to answer the question too? But I want to inject where you quoting you saying it don't seem possible under Joseph Nyema Boyka leadership, and where you refer to Ahmed Moda not being want to be selected to become a minister, using those two talking points and answering the questions. Don't you think one will insinuate that you have an agenda other than the issues you raise?
So the question remains, if we are having issue with Ahmed Moda, similarly having issue with Chairman Tabe, who are we defending? Are you also suggesting that the press conference held by the chairman, Luther Tabe, so it also clear the walls or going against a party or trying to divide the party? No. People have to be balanced, and that's the difference between us and other parties in the past. We muster the courage, we come, we talk, and we move on. Look, like I said, we started as the organizing member of the CPP, the ALP. We transitioned the CPP. We started the entire process. We never stopped there. I served on the COP as the Deputy Secretary for Mobilization and Recruitment. Those records are there. We never stopped there. We organized the Citizen United for Boyka presidency. Noah Zaugesin is a witness. So we have been through this long stretch all along. All right. We have served so many ways to bring this government to power. So nothing wrong with saying in terms of helping our government succeed. I'm saying to you, if you look at Moda scenario of commerce, it's almost like the Bedigo and the Kasali theory. All right. From the very onset of Moda nomination to that process, you could hear the Liberian people complaining that he shouldn't be head of commerce because he have to interact with business people, most of whom have been his colleagues. They come to interest, the better casa and so forth. Those are the basis for which I'm saying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to say, oh, Moda being in a position, but the certain job requires certain individual. The work of commerce, the work of labor and other ministry, it's almost like a practical work. You have to be on the field moving from place to place. There is no secret that in terms of mobility, has deficiency. That is all I was saying. I'm not trying to attack him, but cannot move 20-minute walk to inspect stores. That is the attention I was drawing, not to be disrespectful. So our issue here is we are not attacking because we are outsider. Brother, if we start to explain the struggle of the Unity Party, where we got in prison at the Moravia Center prison for this process, you will not believe it. But those testimonies are there. We are on record. So I can bring a government to power that will struggle for, that will make enemies. Like I said, we were recklessly bold in engaging people. We tend to be disrespectful because anything that stood in the way of stopping Joseph Boakai presidency, we are not taking it lightly. But we can bring this very government to power, and we see people almost like having different agenda. When we speak about it, then we become enemy to the government. No, we should be celebrated. That's what we are saying. We should be celebrated. All of these made steps. If not corrected, who will go against? There are people in government today. We are not part of the hierarchy. They think that speaking out against the government will create problems and it will make the government not to be popular with the Liberian people because they're having a fabulous salary. No, that's not what we're thinking. We're looking at the future. We don't want to make the mistake we made 2017 to give the government to a play ball. The next 2029 should be taking upon a serious leadership in this country moving forward. We don't want to give it to any play ball. I'll be thinking somewhere. That's our issue.
Thank you very much. I believe our audience heard you well. But the last question from me to move on.
So, Leo, in the
So guys, let's do this. I want us to do this. We don't have all night. We have the next segment to run. And we're seriously running out of time. We've gone a little over 1 hour now, so we want to make the most of the time we have to exhaust everything we have on the plate for tonight. So I think Raymond has one more question. And then we'll take Rudolph.
So my last question is short, and I think the both of you are well prepared in answering it because that's one of your talking points. You said the code of conduct have been violated by party members who serve. Can you clearly state to the Liberians listening which law in the code of conduct that is being violated and what is your reliance? Have you consulted legal minds? Have you consulted with the Ambrose man? Is this established that the code of conduct have been violated because the call upon a party member that you support to resign? I think your argument should be strong enough and very crystal clear. Can you make that clear to our audience?
So the code of conduct talks about political participation. The party chair, the chairman of the party, for example, the members of the National Executive Committee, as critical as the Secretary General of the party, cannot be involved with party's activities, day-to-day running of the party, and at the same time, the handling of government. That's political participation. So it is one of our reliance.
Okay, thank you, guys. Rudolph, you want to go ahead with your question?
Yes. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. It's good being back here again tonight. Let me say good evening to the two brothers in studio. It's a good thing to see you guys standing up for what is right. So, I must appreciate you guys for coming on here tonight. Nelson, there's a feedback in the back.
I've handled that already.
Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to know, right? What were your individual expectations, like your personal expectations from this president or this government before, I mean, during the period of campaign?
So, personal expectation from the government is that the government will live up to its commitment to the liability. So, our expectation is the fact that the government committed through its through its arrest agenda. And one of the pillars of that arrest agenda talks about respect for the rule of law. It talks about transparency and accountability. So, if there are public officials who are allegedly involved in the act of corruption, we think it violates one of the pillars of our arrest agenda. As such, we think it needs to be investigated. So our expectation is that all of those things that we promise and campaign on to be achieved and recognized.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you want to chime in on that too, Wilbert, or you think the answer is good?
Well, quite frankly, for me, the very legal stage of this government has been issue that have been discussed about. Take for example, I voted the government with an anticipated hope that the president will set up his cabinet when George Weah was a lame dog, meaning when he got announced November 20th. I thought between November and January, the president will set up his entire government. All right. That time period was being used. The president traveled to the US. Only those in his circle can explain what he achieved. And then when he came back for the inauguration, had unfortunate situation. That one thing I think, if I have seen, I was never going to vote for him. The second issue.
Let's just summarize it. Due to time, let's just summarize it because I mean, I think.
The second issue on my part is the issue of transparency. To see the president reneging on publishing his assets is something that I did not envisage on a very serious note. He declared, but he did not publish in time. The people of Liberia had a crowd. There was so much noise about the president publishing. I thought that would have been an easy goal for President Joseph Boakai considering an integrity act. And the last thing is, most people are not saying this. I don't know which law is preventing us having the LTA going ahead, establishing a website that all presidential appointees and senior members of the CL7, that is comptroller and other people, accountants and so forth, which law is preventing this government of publishing all of the salary of those people. That helps, because if that man, if the very man came to government to declare his assets with 30,000 US, and over the period of 3 months, if he making 1,000, you see that man with $30,000 horse, it raised Adam. Why are they hiring? Why is Joseph Boakai not taking this seriously? Why you can't give us what those people are making? Make it a public record. So if anybody doing things outside, we will bring the information and say, hey, just yesterday he appointed this man and he came with 30,000. On 4 months, the man is buying $100,000 horse. But we don't know how much assistant minister makes, deputy minister. I think these are part of my disappointment. And I'm hoping that over time the president will do something and bring everything. We need an open government, nothing to have. That's what I believe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
No,
you know,
I asked just one question. My next one, I'm about to ask.
Okay, so just finally, Rudolph.
Yeah. So before my next question, let me state for the record that the primary responsibilities of the commerce minister is not to walk around, is to regulate trade and promote economic growth. Those are the two primary functions of the commerce minister, right? So when we come here and talk about his size and stuff, I think these things are immaterial. We shouldn't be bringing these things to national discourses. But my next question has to do with this. There are people listening to you guys who may say that you are disenchanted only by the fact that that you have not gotten jobs. What do you have to say to such a claim?
David, you are muted. Let me unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So let me say first and foremost that all Liberians are entitled to work and serve the country. So, like anyone in government that have had the opportunity to work, I as a Liberian equally deserve the opportunity when it's afforded me. So I'm not disenchanted. Neither are we angry with the fact that we have not been able to be positioned somewhere to help contribute to the development of the country. Our major issue here, I expressed in our press conference, raised are issues that are squarely against those pillars of the rescue agenda. Take, for example, you as a guest, you as a panelist in studio, are you not also interested in the fact that with the huge issues being raised in the public about GDMS and Metex, and with the kind of surreptitious medium through which the funding for the purchase of that car was acquired, don't you think it raised eyebrow? Are you equally not concerned with the fact of over 500,000 being used to purchase vehicles for the president?
Wow. We're losing David. So
let me come.
yeah,
Let me just come.
Yeah, so Weber,
Let me
I
just,
think you can come in. I think you can come in and do your
yeah, let
closing
me,
at once,
yeah, let
and
me,
then David will come right after to do his closing.
let
We
me,
ready?
let me come in, in passing to what you say, Rudolph. If you read the letter from LRA regarding, or the press statement clarifying their involvement with the Army Motor saga, where they provided the 96,000. Part of that, they spoke about the inspectorate aspect that the Ministry of Commerce wrote them that they wanted to buy cars for inspector. So if you say that inspectorate is not integrate part of the workings of the Ministry of Commerce, I can't wonder, my brother, I don't know who interests are you protecting here, because the Liberian people, as far as you're concerned, the Liberian people should be out eating expired food, drugs, and other things that these people should be invested. You said insofar that it doesn't form part of the major working. I mean, what we consume, our livelihood, the life expectancy of the Liberian people is very important. So if you don't take that as important as you want it to be, so be it. I wish you the best of luck. Now, talking about job. Look, I am entitled to job, but to say disenchanted, no. I'm a demographer by profession, all right? I obtained a BSc in demography. I also have a certificate from the Civil Service Agency. I have worked within the UN sector, and there are so many things I don't want to be filibustering or bragging about on the talk show. But look, without government jobs, during the tenure of Ellen, 12 years, brother, we work in the NGO sector, we did not work in government. This mindset, as soon as people raise critical issues, you think that you want job. If this was about me, I would say to you, Rudolph, I would not be on the show. We are in discussion with top ups in government. In fact, some of them will be disappointed. I will stay pushing the agenda for many people. What I want, I think, is for a lot of people to get an opportunity to develop themselves outside of the country in terms of scholarship. We want to see the government reopen the internship program. We want to daily hire job at Freeport APRC and other areas to get open where people will go and make their $10 and invest in business and handle other things. It's not about us. If it is about us, we'll not be here. We'll be in the background and do the common Liberian man thing, the I in theory, I in go on. Is he to go in? No, he is to go on, we go. That thing that we learn, we can't see it nowhere. We are not like that. We believe in the general benefit of everyone. That is why we're pushing the agenda, and we are not stopping. We are not going in discussion for people who say, my man can't sit down here. No, in the Liberian way, no. We are into this. We want the right thing. We want Bouaga to succeed, because if Bouaga don't succeed, it hurts some of us. We made too much enemies, and for Bouaga not to succeed, only defeat us. Look, come in the various communities, the need rescue is almost like a mockery. So you say a part of the rescue mission, they say, like your poor problem. What have we achieved in 8 or 9 months? Come and check the market. No, nothing has changed. The LPRC is bragging about the reduction of gas. The only reduction of gas that we see on the market are the Black D gas. It's Amos Stewart telling all that Black D gas is reducing around here when and tankers bring gasoline out to various gas stations and some leave over to go sell it at a cheap rate to other people can buy, and they bring the price down. I mean, the prices have come down. No, the transport ministry, the transport fare, that leaflet they passing around with, that unrealistic leaflet where you tell someone from Broad Street Oro is $100 and the man should make 2 trays and get $80 for profit on 1 gallon. It doesn't make sense. So if those things making sense, some of you guys know it is not. We will continue to flag this thing, say we want job or not, but we're here for the Liberian people, and we remain
I'm not
realistic.
saying I ask you to clear the air on people who.
So you are talking about Ami Bola, that you are on Ami Bola case here. Why on you too? Thank you.
Thank you, Wilbert. David, you want to do your closing just before?
Yeah. So the first thing is, I want to say to the guys, the panelists, so, like for 2 of them, they don't really know some of us, our track record in this country, what we stand for. So I can fairly understand that they think that we are the regular guys that are used for pursuits, war, that are used to fight and do other stuff. But Nelson in studio there and my brother Soiree have followed all the years in the way they are testimony of our character. So we are not here to brag about our character.
David, I don't know what's happening. Okay, yeah, conclude, because I think you're already having issues with your
internet. I think he's frozen.
Yeah, I hope somebody are not calling David. You know, it reminds me of
Vasco.
It reminds me of what goes on with Emmy, Vasco, and the rest of the guys. You know, when Emmy sees Vasco is making some very important point, and she'll call Vasco.
Say Tapata when she think he's talking too much. Tapata, call him.
He comes around and show Nelson, I'm making my point. The rescuers are calling me.
So Nelson, I think we got to move on.
Yeah, but I think
okay,
David
he's back.
Yeah. So like I was saying, through our history, yes, through our history in this country, we have stood for what it was, and we have never shied away. We remain members of the Unity Party, and will help to change the perspective and the usual Liberian mentality that when issues in my party, because there will be catching expressions and different names, so I wouldn't talk. We change it. CDC failed in this country because officials and members of the party could not say anything. CDC did everything that pleased them, and they could not even say a word. Parties could not even say anything to leaders when they felt that the leaders went wrong. We will change that. We are here to ensure that our party does what is right, and if the party engages into what is right, it will help to promote the government, and the image of the government will be seen out there and respected. That is our interest. Beyond that, jobs and what have you. By the way, I'm working, Chief. The money may be little, but I'm working. So it just says that I'm not into this for a job. I work at the Liberian Senate, and to be working in the office of a senator and being very focused, like some of us, says a whole lot about repetition. So I just wanted to conclude on this.
Thank you very much, David. It's been a great time having you here. Emmy, welcome to the show. Emmy, I see you are coming.
Oh, Nelson has a follow-up question. David,
my
you got
sister
a question
appearing new,
position
man.
where you rejected?
I'm a Liberian. I'm a qualified Liberian, and I'm entitled to work.
So you wholeheartedly take it.
I will take it if opportunity.
No, but David.
That is not a fair question. That is not a fair question.
David, you are just I don't know how to term it. You turn the whole thing the other way now, because your man Weber just told us that if he was in this thing for job, and Weber, if you're listening, maybe we can give you guys a few more minutes. If he was in this thing for job, he would have taken it because he would have gotten a job ever since, because there has been people that have been reaching out to you guys, and if you wanted to settle, you would settle things in the background, and before you know you get people. But then you are saying that if you are offered a job, you will take it. So where do we stand? Weber said there are people behind you guys to stand down on this issue that they're willing to give you a job, but they'll be shocked that you guys are still pushing it. But you are saying that if you give you a job, you take it. Where are we with this, David?
Yeah, so Nelson, just a point. I'm a Liberian, qualified Liberian. I'm entitled to work in certain countries. So it doesn't matter the fact that I'm raising critical issues to ensure good governance, then I should be denied the opportunity, or when the opportunity is afforded me, I should reject the opportunity. So an opportunity is provided to my brother. When he reject the opportunity to serve a country, the honor to serve a country. So the opportunity is provided. Any day, I will Christian to contribute to the Liberia.
But do you know that is going
Okay, so
we are done. No more follow-up question from you.
Can I say something else, please?
You guys are done. Okay, yeah, but Emmy, go ahead since our sister just joined us.
Okay, hi. How you doing? Hi everybody, comment section. Hi, David. I know I'm just coming on, but I think that is an unfair question to be asking the brother, because from what I've been hearing about, he said that, and the other guy also said that yes, they will serve that country, but that doesn't mean they should pay a blind eye to whatever wrong that is going on. So if you ask him a question and say, "Oh, if you are offered a job, would you take it?" and he said yes, I don't see anything wrong with that for people to misconstrue that. That's why they are doing it. I don't know why they're doing it, but from what I heard him say, I think you guys are not being fair to them with that question.
So, Emmy, I can understand. You are still carrying rescue. You are still carrying rescue missionary to your name. I can see the rescue missionary to your name, Emmy. I can understand. And you are coming back to say the question is unfair. But is there any unfair question in such a discourse?
In journalism, in discussion, there's nothing but an unfair question.
This could just be one of the questions on the minds of some people listening to us.
Well, I think they already discussed that question earlier. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't on the show, but I heard them discuss that question.
So why do you ask questions unfair in the first place, Emmy? Why do you
always follow up questions?
No. Raymond. Why does Emmy think that the question is unfair? Why do you think
I think she thinks the question is unfair, like you said. There's rescue to
No. You don't think for
no. Don't miss
why
me with
do
that
you
rescue
think the
thing.
question is unfair?
Don't mess me up with that rescue thing.
But Emmy,
Raymond, please. Why does Emmy think the question is unfair? We want to know.
Because the question is coming later.
Oh, you're asking me, Raymond?
Yeah, I'm asking you, Emmy. Why do you think the question is
I
unfair?
said it, Nelson. You first asked what the other guy named Wilman?
Weber.
Yeah, and no, it was Ruda who asked him, and I was still in the bag. He said, "What would you say to people that saying you are raising concern, or you are talking because you are disenchanted because you want a job?" And he clearly said it. He said, "I'm a Liberian, and I'm entitled to serve my country if the opportunity presents itself. But that doesn't mean that because I'm seeing something wrong, when I speak out, then that's the reason I'm doing it." I heard him loud and clear, so that's what I said. And then when Raymond came back with the question and said that, "Oh, if they give you a job, would you take it?" Of course, he would take it. Why not? Why shouldn't he take it? And even if he's working, he's doing it wrong.
And this is where
Not because he's raising concern doesn't mean he shouldn't take a job
I
if he's
think
for
that's
a
an
job.
important question, and here is why, right? Here is why. When
And that's
you
where
are
Amy
in
needs to
government,
understand.
when you are in government, mostly when you have an appointed
position. That's why I
you
specified.
talk and sing in the tune of the government. So if this
Will and
advocacy is
pleasure
that
of the
important,
president.
thank you. If this advocacy is that important to you, you shouldn't be even saying that you will accept a government job, because that is going to challenge you to an
Rudolph,
extent.
I just want to come.
That's the
I
point
want to
we are
come in,
making.
please. I want to come in,
Amy,
please.
that was the
1 minute.
basics
I
of my.
want to come in, please.
1 minute.
Let me come in, please.
Yeah, Weber. Let's
Let me come.
get Weber. Okay, so Weber, just come in. David will come in, and then we let you guys go. It's been a great time having you on the show tonight.
And let me be on record. 2015, I was in the university when I had a job for foreign affairs as a technical assistant to the deputy minister. When her work ethics conflict with what I believe in, I resigned. I want you to take this on record. At the University of Liberia, I was part of the testing department. We ran the 2013 test with Dr. Jada and Dr. Branell. When that test got over with, few months later, when a conflict with what I believe in, I resigned. I'm not one young man that believe that you will be somewhere, you see the wrong thing, you remain there like Liberian people say, I will close my mouth. My primary concern here is for the government to do the right thing. That's why we're pushing.
But
I
this is the
said to you,
problem. Why would you work for a government that's not doing the best things?
if it was about us, we will not speak out. We are pushing an agenda for scholarship first, employment opportunity for colleagues that will lead, and so forth. Like David said, if an opportunity is afforded us, we will go ahead, but it is not the primary reason for this. We're not put ourselves above people we are leading.
Thank you,
Let me clear
Weber.
on record. And if I enter government, these things continue, the president cannot take action, I will take my essay, I get on the traffic, I run my traffic. Thank you.
Don't get there until
Thank you.
these things
Thank
happen.
No,
I
don't think
Thank
so.
you very much. Thank you very
I
much,
don't think
Weber.
so.
No,
David,
but
you want to
Emmy,
just close up?
you
David, you want to
cannot
just
say that our system is corrupt, but you tell us that you will take a job in that same system. It makes no sense.
Everybody in that system is not corrupt. You just post people that
Rudolph, listen, 1 minute, Rudolph. If everything we're saying here and the president start to take steps, the Liberian people life gets better in terms of what we're projecting. You won't tell me it mean the government will be that way I enter there? No, that is why we want it to be
That's not what he
corrected.
asked you. That was
okay, so thank you guys.
But we're raising the issue for the president to take action and correct it. They said no.
Exactly.
Rudolph, I will mute Rudolph
Your
100
answer is-
times. I will
things
mute
get
Rudolph
better, I will
100
take
times, and I see he's unmuting himself. Rudolph is
But
about
that's
to
how
go
I
back.
would take it for it to get better.
So David, please conclude, David. Just do your closing.
You muted.
David, you are muted.
Yes, so let me inform your panel that I currently work in the office of Moserado County Senator Ibrahim Taros Dillon. And you all know what it means.
So wait. I want to understand. David, you work with Senator DeLong, and you know Senator DeLong is a rescue senator, and you come on radio and criticize the rescue mission and its alliance, which your boss is a part of. Is Senator DeLong part of the problem? Is he part of some of the problem? Do you for any reason think he should be one of the loudest voices on some of these issues you are raising as well? Since in fact he's one of the influential members of the Rescue Alliance.
So the point here is I'm a Liberian and I'm entitled to also my opinion regarding the state of affairs. Mind you now, I'm a member of the Unity Party and I'm equally entitled to calling on my party to do what is right. So I'm just saying this to mean that brother thinks that we are into this advocacy because of job.
Okay.
I want to build his mind regarding that. Even in the midst of where we are been very fearless to speak the truth. So not even a job, quote unquote.
Thank you very much. David, it's been a great time having you on here tonight. We appreciate you. Thanks to you and Wilbert for coming on.
Do you think your boss is a part of the problem?
We thought to no, we're
Don't answer that question.
Going back on this issue.
I mean,
But I want to say, David, thanks for coming on tonight, David. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you guys here anytime soon. As always, as we've always said, this platform is open to every Liberian, the young people, just whoever, to express themselves. And once we have the time and you reach out, we can always afford you the opportunity to come up. We appreciate you guys for being here. A lot happening in the country. Our co-host Emmy is here tonight after a very long time.
Okay.
Emmy went to what's the name of the state? She did a video with for some security reason we can't say that. I want to welcome everyone. A lot is happening across the country. Rudolph, I saw you try to pull David into situations that would have been very difficult for him to handle, you know. But this is where we are. This is where we are. There's a new Republican.
Could we just do 1 minute each on their appearance?
Yes, Nelson.
We don't have the luxury of time. We have a lot of other issues to exhaust tonight. You know. Okay, so take 30 seconds. Let's do 30 seconds across the table. Since you guys want to put some analysis on their stuff, but we are here for about 30 minutes, just so you know that. So let's start with you, Raymond.
So first and foremost, I should commend the both of them. They spoke eloquently. And the truth of the matter is, no one from the past 6 years mustered the courage to speak out against their government. We saw the Unity Party did that during the President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf tenure. And for that, I should commend them. Especially for David. David came across to me as very balanced, very honest, and very objective. On the contrary, I can say the same thing about Wilbert. The first thing, he never mentioned President Bouakai as president. He called him Bouakai all through. He concluded that under the tenure of President Bouakai, you don't see the objective they're raising achievable. So for me, he come across as an extremist. I'm sorry to say, but it sounded to me like he has an agenda other than the issues raised.
Thank you very much. Your post analysis on our guest, Rudolph.
Yes, I mean, Nelson, just like Brother Raymond said, I mean, first of all, let's say thanks to them. I mean, for even attempting to be policemen on their government. I mean, I think that's a good effort. But then when you come, they say one who comes to Equitech must come with clean hands, right? This brother works for Senghor Tilon, right? And I mean, that's these are the guys who are making who are making key government decisions when it comes to appointment and stuff like that. They are the ones nominating people. So I asked him a clear and straightforward question. Do you think he's a problem? He couldn't answer. So my thing is, I mean, if you and he was like, oh, we are recklessly bold. If you are what you say you are, then why can't you be bold? And tell me no or yes. I'm not forcing him to say yes. Tell me he is not, and then let the people be our judge tonight. I did not see that. I think
so. You think he shy away from the question because
yes, Nelson. And for me, I don't think people should be selective with advocacies, right? If you are coming to the table, come with all of your cards open. Also, the thing is,
thank you very much.
You cannot tell the people that this government is corrupt. Nothing is working. In fact, you are not happy. But then on the same platform, we ask you, if given a job, will you take it? He did not tell us, when those things that we are advocating for, when we see them working, of course, yes, I will take the job. He went ahead and said, yes, I will take it, even though the system is messed up. Nelson, I think these guys are just job hunting. Thank you.
Let's hear you, Soiree, and then we'll take Emmy.
Thank you. I know Dave too much. At the level of where I know he has resigned from series of organizations because of his principle. I don't know what the future will tell. I don't know the other brother. That brother resigned from the CDC, left other young potential. I'm not saying this as a means of praising him, but I know what he stands for.
But what's going on?
My God,
Yes, Soiree. You got love, but you
Vida,
can't make it.
Vida, if you can face the internet issue, you're not coming on the show for 1 month. You got to face that internet issue. Look, you will not be wasting our precious time here, you know, with your 2x4 internet.
No, but I can conclude for
George. There is no time for you, George. So you have to.
No, let me conclude.
That was a part of the show, so he didn't got no talking to talk.
So, Peter, are you still with us?
No.
No.
But I want his break.
So, Emmy, let's hear you. Let's hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Nelson. Guys, I wasn't here for the whole conversation, but like everybody already said, it's a good thing to see young people that help, bring a government to power, holding their feet to the fire, and standing up against the wrong that is happening. That's their opinion. They have the wrong that they think happening, and we might say something different from that. But the only problem I had, and when I first got joined in, he was saying something about the minister, Amin Moda, and talking about, and I heard something like he was body shaming him, and I had a problem with that about his mobility or something like that. And I thought that was very disrespectful and out of context. I don't think somebody need to have a bunch of six packs on you before you be hired in appointed as a minister somewhere of commerce or something like that. So that was the only problem I had. And I think it's also with the job thing that, if you're given a job, will you take it? I think it's a fair something. Maybe they think that somebody doing wrong or doing the wrong thing in that position, and how can you fix it when you're not there? That could be that perspective of saying, I would take the job. If I go there, I can do better, because I feel like people that are there, they are not doing any better. And I don't think we should be holding people. We should really dig into that motive than just saying that, because they are speaking up is about job. I think we should get away from that a little bit. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Josh, if you've been following the show, you can take 30 seconds on this. Your post analysis on the guest.
Look, thank you, Nelson. And true, yeah, I've been following the show. I was driving, but I kept my speakers, on. So I was listening to the show. Look, I just want to appreciate those guys. I mean, they were really eloquent. I really love the way they articulated the issues. Look, but that's the Liberia we have. And in certain terms, I'm not against this government. I want a better Liberia. That's what I'm hungry for. I don't care who is president, who is not president, but we need to say the facts that, that they are. So, look, I want to commend them. I think they did a very good job today. And Nelson, these are the people you should be bringing here. I want to hear from the people on the ground. Good job to you as well. I appreciate it. What I want to say, the last thing I want to say is that
I don't want any commendation for a sedition right now, because I know the next thing that will come after. This very George said this platform. Anyway, let's
yeah, Nelson. Yeah, give me some chance. Let me talk. It's a bit, so don't take it. But here's what I want to say from the quotes. Okay, no,
that's the next talking point. We
can get jumping in different discussion. Okay, because I was very hungry to comment on that.
But this is where we are, guys, and we woke up to the indictment from the court on the 5 ex-officials of government. Well, former finance minister was not in the country. Finally came back. He availed himself to the process. Went to the court. Was able to file a bond. The judge accepted the bond. Criminal Code C. He walked in majestically. Despite everything that everyone was saying. Look, but the former finance minister was very confident.
So, Smoothie is about to start to
He walked in confidently and he walked out majestically. He was asked, he said, "No, gentlemen, you don't have to talk. I don't have to talk. I'm not in the mood to talk." Few days after he appeared on the
Involvement that will show visible signs of progress in the country will be known after 6 months. And because George Weah was known after 6 months, roads were being constructed. Government reduced salaries. What has been the tangible, visible sign of productivity of a government in 9 months?
A few days after, he appeared at the sycamore tree or on the headquarters of the CDC and bashed this administration for not doing well. For the past 6 months or 8 months, according to him, the government has done nothing different. The next day, he was on a local radio. He spoke of the achievement of the previous administration and how everything that is being done now is just a copy of some of what it did, and absolutely nothing has been achieved. He tried to address some of the issue. He gave his own narrative of the Bati Yensua situation. He tried to put 1 to 2 to make it arrive at 4 and, and all of that. And then, next thing is the court comes up. The very court that granted him the bond, that accepted the bond. Criminal court seat, Judge Blambo Dixon comes up the next day, following the radio appearance with a new as a Republican. Mr. Samuel Tway and the other ex-officials of government are not allowed to leave the country. Not just that, but if they ever make an attempt to leave the country, whether bypassing, using the airport, using unauthorized point, if they catch them, they will arrest them, they will take that passport from them. I mean, where exactly are we? 1 minute the finance minister was so much interested in the justice system. In fact, when he came back, on one of the appearances, he said the people expected that he would be in handcuffs. But the good thing is that we have a good system. We have a good justice system in place. And this is what we're seeing now. The Bati Yensua situation today, he was invited by the Liberia National Police to answer questions relative to the Bati Yensua situation. He's a person of interest because he's one of those whose name has been associated with Bati Yensua's situation. I want us to start the analysis from here. What are we seeing here? Is this a new day in Liberia? Are we seeing the justice system at work? The former finance minister was very confident. Came to the country, went to the court. He has said he trusts the system. Are we going to see the same Samuel Tway trusting the system now that there's a writ from the court for him not to leave the country? Let's start the conversation from here. Raymond, let's hear your take on this issue.
Well, Nelson, I think the issue for the court today is belated. The fact that people are indicted for the tone of money mentioned, they should not be passing around with their passport. That indictment, the first day they show up to court, their passport to be confiscated, and they should be having some restriction upon them. We're talking a tune of $500 million. We're not talking about $1,000 or a few $100s. So coming up with that, and the fact that they are still passing around with their passport until they make an attempt before their passport should be seized beats my imagination. I'm not a legal practitioner, but they're being indicted. These are people that are facing the law. Should answer, and even Samuel Tway is at flight risks. Say his indictment, when did he come to the country? What time it took him? So it beats my imagination. I don't think the justice system in our country is serious, given the circumstances and the information you're providing us. It shows that these guys are having a free pass. They can do whatever they may. And I don't think justice is fair to everybody. I know people who get accused and they're not billable in our country. We're talking about 500 million. They can pass around.
No, but again, Raymond, it depends. There are billable offenses and there are non-billable offenses.
I got
you
it.
cannot go, for example, be accused of murder or quote unquote there's an allegation of murder or whatever, and then you say you want to bill. No, that's a non-billable offense.
I got it.
In the case where somebody say you got maybe you stole money, that's billable. Based on the amount the person is calling. If you can afford the bond or whatever, and if the judge can accept, you can walk out.
I get it, Nelson, but what I'm trying to say, the restriction upon people, especially corruption is the number one reason why our country is underdeveloped, least developed, among the poorest nations in the world, where many Liberians are deprived of the things that other people enjoy other parts of the world. So corruption is our number one enemy. We can't treat corruption as a common crime. You have to treat corruption seriously. The allegation of $500 million corruption against a group of individuals should be grave for all of us. So the judge should not be making cuts of comment that if they attempt to leave, their passport should be seized. It doesn't make no sense.
But this is a writ, Raymond. Are you saying that the writ? Are you going to that extent?
In the circumstances, Samuel Tuah was in flight. Since his indictment, when did Samuel Tuah show up to the court? How long did it take him? Is our justice system serious that when people get indicted, they should take whatever time they may in the world when they feel like it before they show up?
Here is the thing, Raymond.
And he still has a passport to pass around with? Doesn't sound right to me.
Okay. Let me hold you there and bring Bila in. Sorry, Rudolph, we're not coming to you. Bila, let's hear your take on this. And then we take George, then we take Emmy, then we take Rudolph.
Nothing. And folks, I've always had my disagreement with the lower court and how they proceed with major issue in our country. I said it last time, and I'm about to say again, that the lower court, the corruption that in our lower court, you and myself sitting here today will not see it. The only reason you see Mr. Tweste get big more passing around our country because Liberia is not serious. Liberia is not a serious country. Look, you have to look at the gravity, and I'm not in disagreement with proceeding in terms of law, but you have to look at the gravity of a financial crime that is said to be against Mr. Tweste, allegedly.
That is 500,000 we're talking about.
Right.
And it's not one person.
Okay.
All right. There are 5.
Okay. I agree there are 5. Nazim, for common example, you Nazim sitting behind that mark. Can go and tell somebody 1,000 USD. And you see how and somebody carry the code, you see how the code can't drag you. If you tell them you even go service. So we try to make other people look at. The reason you see corruption will not leave that country is because we beautify certain individual in terms of how we proceed with the law on them and make it believe that there are certain group of people, the laws, and it's not fairly implemented. I still, that's my opinion. And the very lower court we're talking about now, whether the criminal could see, they could be, there are a lot of things that can happen. The reason you saw that indictment coming on, like I asked you the question the last time, where was Mr. Tweste? Or when did Mr. Tweste realize that he didn't know about any communication? And what we heard, that indictment was sent to his house, his address, that somebody was there who received it, that somebody was there who received the communication that he was in clear communication with. When did Mr. Tweste realize
2 days
that
later, he posted on Facebook that the government was witch hunting him. He responded
Thank
to
you.
this indictment.
And he's going to speak to the country about the witch hunt, how he saw the whole case. And I even came on the platform and said, their statement, in especially Mr. Tweste, could further indicting. Because if a legal case is going on, if you want to make some statement, it could further indict. But that's like bro for all. There are certain people, they are prevented. Under which law, you and myself don't know today. If we are to make progress with our country nursing, the issue of a financial crunch should not be a merry-make thing. Mr. Tweste was first passing all around the players saying some statement, he felt that the government is something. I sat down and said, but that country without making no progress. And at the end of the day, I still hold on to the belief that nothing will come out of that case, because that's the lower court we're talking about.
George, I can hear you.
Josh, yeah.
Thank you, Nelson. And I see my brother Bilal is saying the lower court is corrupt, but the Supreme Court is not, because Moses Scott is out of prison, so the Supreme Court is not corrupt. So let me say as it is. I think this is using a single barrel to kill a mosquito on the wall. That's what's happening. For the fact that there is a bill worth more than the money that has been allegedly embezzled. There is a bond in place that when they got run away, the money that you say he stole, they will get you double from the bank. It's still not sufficient, right, for this crime. The government, again, that is not done by the court. We know it. The court can just read how they call it, a rate or so. The government apply for that to happen because the government is seeing that Senator is speaking.
Josh. This is the court, and the court operates under the judiciary system of our country. If you say it is the government, and then maybe you want to say, yeah, someone may want to say,
exactly,
yeah,
Nelson,
judiciary
I know you understand what I'm saying.
Case, but it could not. I don't want us to draw the politics into this thing.
Nelson, this is not politics. This is not politics.
And then the other aspect where you said the money that is being that is being captured in the bond is more than what the indictment is. No, the indictment is 500 million. The bond is 8 million. So it's just a drop in the ocean.
So your math is not mapping.
500 million.
500 million.
Almost more than our entire country budget. 500 million, guys. Come on, look for that amount. Good. Look for it good. Because 500 million is almost more than our national budget. Because our national budget is 700 million. So you want to tell me, say 720?
Our yearly budget is
99% of our budget.
No, George, calm down. This thing happened over the period of 6 years. Okay, you are referring to our yearly budget, so it doesn't make. I mean,
it wasn't a 1 year thing.
guys, this case, you guys want to tell me it's 500 million that we're talking about here?
And I want to
make progress.
What I'm trying to tell you, go and read. Don't go and read. Don't just come here and follow what people say. Go and read. It's not 500 million. Come on,
how much is it, George? How much is it?
Okay, guys, let me do this.
It's 500,000.
No, apparently.
What?
No,
apparently.
Then why will you give a
500,000?
George?
No, guys.
Why will you put a bond of 8 million for 500,000?
Nelson, you are lying about the Nelson, you are lying.
No, let's do this. Josh,
Let me protect George.
Guys, let's do this. For the sake of our audience, I am going to share the screen for this particular publication.
Somebody said 6.something million.
So
6.2 million.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Can you guys see what we have here? Is it appearing from your end?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a publication from the 30th of July 2024. And it's on the BBC. As a matter of fact, this is where I'm bringing from. And like you see here in this portion of the article, okay, let me come. The headline says arrest warrant issued for ex-finance minister. An arrest warrant has been issued for Liberia's former finance minister following allegations he was involved in a $500 million or 389 million euros corruption scam. Twelve, along with 4 other senior officials in the former President George Weah's administration, had been indicted for illegally stealing from the government when they were in office. Mr. Twelve, who was previously sanctioned by the U.S. for corruption, called the indictment a politically motivated witch hunt against him and others. The Weah administration, who seeks the blah 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 blah. You know, I don't want to go into the rest of it.
Yeah, we already passed that.
Yeah,
it is it's 500 million. All right, and the bond is 8 million.
All right, thank you, Nelson. Let me continue. I just followed that up as well. I was wrong, and my hands are up, but I was wrong.
So George, no, you are not go, George. So you didn't really believe that they kind of everything could be on the former finance minister here. You talking
Nelson,
to be some
Nelson, I know that the whole thing that blah, right? Because the thing is that Nelson, let's just take it for ourselves. Samuel Twelve knows that he took 500 million from the country. And then he said it in Ivory Coast. And then they say, we indict you. They Interpol go for him. He is a pay plane ticket and come back to Liberia and say, I want to defend my name. Then you think the government gets serious case? For me, I just using common reasoning. I'm someone to I don't know what he's depending on.
Samuel Twelve did not take the 500 million.
Any criminal who commits a crime in a country and they say they are looking for you to run to the jail instead of running away from the jail, I think it doesn't make any sense. And I know Samuel Twelve is not stupid to have gone back to Liberia. But I see why these people are trying to they want to close his mouth. That's what they're trying to say, because he's speaking. They don't want him to talk. They want him to be quiet. And guess what? They cannot put a gag order on him because it does not require in this case. So what they are trying to do now is to put pressure on him so that he can sit in one place. And he will not agree.
But Josh.
Yeah.
In all fairness, why would 500 million indictment be on the former finance minister? And then why this indictment is there? You have the former
that will show visible signs of progress in the country will be known after 6 months. And because George Weah was known after 6 months, roads were being constructed. People will reduce salaries. What has been the tangible, visible sign of productivity of a government in 9 months? MOUs, 3 billion from China. I signed a 2.5 billion swap deal from China.
A man with 500 million indictment exerting so much energy.
That tells you a lot. That tells you a lot. That they didn't get case against that man. They're just witch hunting him.
Okay, thank you.
And guess what, Nelson? Everything he just said, where is the lie? Where is the lie? Black guy won an election in November.
Nelson, George is back again. You're giving him all the time.
Cabinet was not ready to work. He took until March. He didn't have a complete cabinet. What have Baka done? The only security booth we saw him put to SKD Boulevard Junction is not there anymore because it destroyed. What has Baka done? The only achievement now is to pay salary. And when CDC did the same thing, they said CDC was doing something else.
I want to hold you there. Let's bring Emmy in.
Hold me, no problem.
He's not liable.
Emmy, go ahead. Let's hear you on this, Emmy.
Thank you, Nelson. So first of all, Samuel Twelve did not run to the court. He ran away for what, like a month or 2 or 3? Correct me, guys, if I'm
9 months he been away from the country.
Okay. So when they put that a warrant out, so let's just stop misleading the people say, oh, how can he ran to the court? Say something? No, that's not what happened. Look at him now. Okay, and they didn't say Samuel Twelve alone embezzled $500 million. It's what, 5 persons or whatever. And we all know what some of those money were. It is not all in Samuel Twelve's pocket. Let's be clear. We're being logical here as well. He's just a errand boy in the midst of all of this as well. So, yeah, I think that, like Raymond said, this whole thing is belittled. Because first of all, I think when Samuel 12, from what happened, from the day they indicted him, Samuel 12 fled the country. He been out of the country for how long? Like I already said here. The moment he came back, his passports and everything's all to be taken away from him. Just because you post a bond or bill, it doesn't mean that they should ignore the risks that are there. That's not what it means. I'm not a lawyer or whatever, but I don't think that's what it means. They say, oh yeah, we got money here. Let the man go. They ain't go fleeing around. If anything, he run away. Then I mean, they would have done it to every criminal there is out there. They wouldn't just something and rely. They will rely on that bond and bills and just let them to run in the streets. But that's not it. And I think to be saying that because he's speaking, that's what they're doing this. That's what they're doing. That's what always gonna be said. Like witch hunt and this that. And somebody is doing the same speaking he was doing 6 years ago. Gaslighting. Feeding their base. That's all he's doing. Nothing else for to make anybody scared to say, oh, you grab him before he come put the government on fire and do this. No, he's not doing anything strange or anything that somebody has not done or people used to doing. So I don't think that would be the reason. And like people said, I know the justice system in Liberia, they know that court. We already see what happened to Jessica and all of that. And we not just saying, we heard recallings of bribery being initiated. So it's not anything strange to say, oh, some days they get it, some days they drop the ball. That's just what it is. Not because when it's in our favor, then we say, oh yeah, they are not corrupt because it's in our favor. Or when it's not in our, oh yeah, they are corrupt. No. And some day good, some day bad. That's what it is. So I don't see anything wrong with what they're doing now. Samuel has already proven to be a fly rate, and I think they should. I don't know about the other people, but him per se, that should be something that should be done to him. He needs to lose his passport and stuff needs to be taken away from him because he's already proven that from the get go.
Thank you. Rudolph, you want to take us home on this?
Oh yes, Nelson. Thank you. You know, first of all, let me say this. I think it is very unprofessional to just condemn or to just tell people that they are not right when you don't even have the facts. You haven't done your research, but you just only because it doesn't sound right in your ears, you just say no, it's a lie. I think that's very unprofessional. But to my point, you know, Nelson, first of all, I was a bit surprised to have seen the court accepting a bond of 8 million from an allegation of 500 million corruption. I mean, like the standard percentage for you to secure an accused person's release is 10%, right? So 10%. I come in. 10% of 500 million would be 50 million. And one may argue say it was not his one; it was him plus four other persons. If you do the math, right, it would still be 10 million that was needed, not 8. So for the court to have accepted that, for me, that was an error. And then the case is already in court, but this man is going around. I mean, like talking about this case, trying to destabilize the minds of the Liberian people who cannot probably read between the lines, trying to wake up his base. He is literally trying to talk his base into action. That's why he went at the party headquarters. That's why he went on the radio and said all of those things. He said. I think what the court has done. I think it was supposed to be done ever since. Number one, they shouldn't even have accepted 8 million bond. I think he was supposed to be handcuffed. That is my point on this. So George, next time, at least just go and and just read a little bit before you can disagree, please. Thank you.
Folks, we have to go. I really want us to take a few calls from our audience, but we're out.
You have to, Nelson. You get George all the time. You gotta give the people the time.
Everybody had their time. You had time as well.
Yeah, I ain't see you asking anybody else question yet. Till you are asking George 39 questions.
What about Raymond? You know, so the question I was asking Raymond.
Guys.
No.
Okay, so let's take just few calls from our folks out there. 0555
Nelson never asked me a question. He said we should go on.
0555
And you had the time to research
and
the information before coming up. You dropped the ball.
And I will put the WhatsApp up as well. Guys, let's take calls from our folks, please. Hello, you're live.
The protest for the people.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Jones, calling from Central Polo.
Yeah, Jones, let's hear you.
Let me just say thank you to all panelists on the show this morning.
You said?
I said, let me just say thank you to all the panelists on the show this morning.
Okay.
And also, good morning, Ami. Yes.
Good morning.
Next thing, I just want to let you know, I know why you're keeping George on so far. Because George, he eats our money in the place there. You're taking free money from NSA all to later. You're going to be talking about it.
Who are taking money from NSA? You mean who are taking money from NSA?
Oh, George?
The person you gone off.
The man said George. He was clear.
Let's take another person here, guys. Let's give the time to our caller. Hello. Yeah, please go ahead. Let's hear you.
I don't blame Samuel Tuer. I blame we the Liberian people, and I blame President Barker. When President Barker took office, or when he was elected and so in, he should have given executive order 00 nonsense.
Huh?
Nobody live 00 nonsense. Nobody
but then the whole executive order will be nonsense executive order. How do we get a nonsense executive order?
00 nonsense order. The nonsense order, 00 nonsense order that I'm talking about, even including the former president of the Republic of Liberia, George Weah. Nobody, that day of his inauguration, the end statement should be, I am giving 00 nonsense, no nonsense.
He never had a chance to end the inauguration.
To the Liberian people.
No, he did not.
Yeah, and all of them, nobody should live 1.5 years until all the corruption investigation.
Thank you.
I don't blame him.
Thank you.
I blame President.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your input. Let's hold you there and take
another person. That he did not finish.
Where you call from? Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. I think
Okay, go ahead.
I gotta make a correction on a little misstatement. When I really said that Samuel Tuer escaped the country, and that is not true. Samuel Tuer were all of the country before the real arrest him. So Samuel Tuer did not run away.
Okay.
That correction.
Thank you very much.
And your call that just left the land. Your call that let me just say something. Why you just say? Former President Weah, the government does not have any proof from a former President Weah because according to the Constitution, if the president is in office when they do anything, they know how to impeach him and drag him to court. But when you allow the president to leave office, the court says you cannot anything.
You know that constitutional provision will require further explanation and clarity around.
So you should ask him whether he's a lawyer and why he's standing to quote such.
Yeah, name and where you call from.
Hello?
Yeah, name and where you call from.
I'm Dennis Elfman calling from Johnstonville, Logan. Yeah. Hello, Nancy?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay. I just want to come in when it comes to the discussion tonight, when it comes to Samuel Tuer. All we want to tell maybe is that Samuel Tuer that the president, just say your mom Barker will protect him. Even I, Dennis Elfman, I use my resources today. I'm saying so. This is my very first time calling when it comes to some of those issues in national radio. I don't do that. But there's things that going on when it comes to the commerce minister. When it comes to some of those things, you need to take stand.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Where he's listening, what I've been closer to him, you need to take stand.
Thank you.
There's some mistakes that they were made, and the past government made, and we want that to be completed, and he's doing it to go against. Even he, the president, we don't want it to be repeated.
Thank you very much. I want us to squeeze in the final caller now. Let's squeeze Vasco in finally. Hello?
Yeah, Nazim.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, so I just posted something out there about this
Vasco, we won't go to your post. We won't go to your post.
This issue that given against Twitter and the other guys, it actually not stopping them from leaving the country. It's not stopping them from leaving.
No, but Vasco, if you followed the show from the beginning, there's a rate of no exit report card on Minister Twe and others prohibiting them from leaving the country. Now, if they ever attempt leaving the country, they will be arrested. Did you read that? Did you follow the show from the beginning?
I read it, but they got conditions. The conditions they are right there.
Which are the conditions you saw? Yeah.
They said before they leave, they have to get an approval from the judge. So if they attempt to leave without the approval of the judge, they can be arrested.
You know, Vasco.
Vasco misleading problem.
Make our research.
Listen.
The thing is right in the chat room that you can take it there and put it on the screen.
Listen.
And read
No, Vasco. Come on the show tomorrow. We'll be able to provide all that clarity, put it all, take it from the chat room and put it up. But we're out of time now, folks. The technical team have been signaling to me we have to go. We are seriously out of time. I can't take calls now either because we've gone above our time. 10 minutes.
Let me see the technical team. Show them to me.
No, but you will not see the technical team now. They be.
How you see the technical?
I want to say thanks to everyone. Thank you, Bida, for being here. Thank you, George. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Emmy. And this is how we like to end up on this edition of the Late Night Show. Rudolph, thanks a lot. And Rudolph is joining us from his hotel room. Rudolph, you want to turn the camera around? Let's see the portion of the hotel room. Don't do that. Your wife is not there. You know, you remind me when I was in Ghana.
How do you know that?
Nelson, I am currently in
Seattle,
Washington. I come in, Nelson. I am in Seattle, Washington. Okay, I came for work purposes. I am at Amazon headquarters here. I came for work.
Is that where your wife is?
I have been there.
No, the man reminds me, just looking at the background, reminds me when I went to Ghana and
is that where your wife is?
When I went to Ghana and got missing.
And the wife police.
So when you ate it full
Nelson, you have started. I'm about to toggle.
But it's just required a single button to pull you up. So you can. Well, guys, I want to say thanks. It's been a great show. Thanks to everyone for being here. The Late Night Show will be back tomorrow. Until then, Jilau Sendi, thanks for joining us. But Marcia Snelling, thanks for being here. Our dear sister Freeman, Ruth Goba, Natana K. Hill, we appreciate all of you for joining on. Sekou Donzo, and we look forward to being here tomorrow. Until then, have a good night. And
so, Rudolph, one Nelson press the wanting to put you backstage. Are we in?